Hello guys, welcome to Ask Raghulan. Today we're going to see migration into Australia using a student visa. So that is what we're going to see today, and I'm going to focus on PG, post-graduation, which is masters, and so for UG and a lot of those things there will be minor changes to it, and probably I'll do a separate video explaining those entry points for different streams. And so this one into engineers, if you're an engineer, and a lot of these things will be common. So yeah, but again, take my thing as a sort of like a suggestion, not as an advice. You have to do your due diligence in doing your research and checking everything for yourself. All right, this is just an informative stuff. All right, so first thing is your research. So in here, we're just going to focus only on research. So before you get into any uni or any location, you're going to spend money. So make sure that you actually spend it wisely. So that means you check what sort of uni you go there, what sort of location, and how is the demand for the job, and what sort of revenue you're going to spend for the period of time, and what you would get in return, and how you're going to survive. So a lot of those things comes into play. So do as much research as possible. My suggestion would be is before you plan to head into a uni, have a period of, let's say, around a year or two. Do a proper research. Don't rush through this, because everything looks really fine at the outlook, because you're going to talk to representatives to get an admission. So it's just like any other business. They need business. They need money. So you're someone you're just a client to a university. So as long as you fill into some of those check boxes, they will say yes, and your banks will say yes, because they need customers as well. So all of these people just say yes, because it's not about their economics is what actually they think about. It's not about you as well. So first thing is just make sure that you plan everything ahead. You think about every little scenarios, and then you go and start working on your uni application. So the first thing is in your research, you choose your type of course. So I think if you have done your bachelor's, you're going to obviously do your post-graduation, and you would be doing some sort of a master's. So if you finished your school, you will be looking for undergraduation. And if you're looking for PhDs, then of course, you're going to looking for 5-year visas and things like that. So based on the type of course, so a lot of things will come into play. So first thing is decide what type of course you're going to do. Whether it's a master's, single degree, that means single I would say single degree, I would say, or sometimes you will have dual degrees and things like that, like sandwich courses and things like that. So anytime you pick something, don't buy into something when someone says it. Everything that you do, just go and check into the Immigration and Engineers Australia website to check if that course has got full provisions, or is it a fully accredited courses, or it's a provisional course. So you need to check those ones. So if it's not, then you have to do a lot of work. You have to do extra stuff to gain some points to apply for TR and PR. So that's the first thing. Any course that you pick, any university you pick, just go here and check, will that help you anyway? Will that have any disadvantages here? So just check those ones. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is your stream. So once you pick your type of course, whether it's a UG, PG, and then pick your stream. So let's say I'm a civil engineer. So when I'm going to do masters, I can do quite a lot of things. I can do masters in civil, I can do mining, I can do structural. So there is a lot of things I could do, and even engineering management, a lot of those things. But remember, whatever you do, it is not some fancy certificate it's going to give you money back. So you have to find a work after you finish your studies. So make sure whichever the course you pick, just go and check, do a job check to check in that particular country, in that particular location, whether you have jobs, whether people have demand for this particular position. If not, doesn't matter how honors or how gold medalist you're going to be, and no one is going to give you a job. So make sure that box is checked, whether there is demand for that particular stream and particular course. So that's that point. And the next one is your market demand. So every country that you're going to migrate, they will have a job search engine, just like Naukri and Monster that we have in India. So there will be a job search engine. So make sure that you go there and search for it. Let's say if you're going to be an Android developer, just go and check how many jobs are available for an Android developer, for iOS developer, or structural engineer, civil engineer, dentist, whatever it could be. Just check how many job openings are available. So based on that only, you're going to get a job. So if there is very small pool of jobs, then you're going to be fighting against quite a bit of crowd, and so there is going to be a lot of native people, and generally they get preference, quite a bit of more preference. So just think about that. So just do a job check to check if you have plenty of jobs available in that particular stream. And the next thing is your rules and migrations. So the rules and migrations is these things change time and time again. This is your migration for your migration policies and stuff. So this is something you need to check it and keep track of it. So that is like just go to the DMIA website, the Australian Immigration website, and then check if there is any policy changes. And then your Engineers Australia, if you're an engineer, you have to go to Engineers Australia to make sure that your course still a fully accredited course and all that sort of stuff. Just make sure that it's always in green, so nothing is going red. So that's one thing you do it. And then your migration plan. So what is going to be your migration plan? Because sometimes some courses will be in a sort of like a critical list. That means there is a great demand for that people who's finishing that particular course, and in that case, you can straight away apply PR. That's a permanent residency, wherein by which it's like a citizenship. So once you get a PR, you can stay indefinitely, and you can start working on jobs, you can buy properties, you can do everything. So that is similar to citizenship, just one step down from a citizenship. And another one is TR, and PR, I think it's a subclass 500, so not sure, just check it online. And for TR, it's subclass 485. And so if any of these visas that you apply, there will all be fees. Anything that you do here, guys, any service someone is doing, there will always be a fee. So you have to put that into your budgeting. When we go into budgeting, we'll discuss that. And so your migration plan, because sometimes if, as I said, if your profession is actually in a critical list, then you can actually apply PR, and pretty much the Australian government is willing to give you a permanent residency quickly, because there is a lot of demand. A lot of people want that particular job to be done, then there is no one is doing it. So that is one thing which is cool. Just check if yours in critical list, which is going to help you. If not, sometimes you have to choose a TR, which is a temporary residency, which lets you work. It's a visa to work, and it lets you work, but it's like you have to work in a particular regional location, not in the primary urban cities. You have to work in one of those regional locations, and then you have to be there for 2 years and stuff like that. There will be some stipulations for that visa, and you serve there and do your job, and then once you finish it, you satisfy the terms and conditions, you stay there for 2 years and things like that, and then you apply for your permanent residency, which is your PR. So that is your migration plan. It could be either one of these, or it could be different one as well. So just check what is your migration plan is going to be. So next one is your university ranking. So this comes at the last. The reason being is, as you might know, any university you study, your skill set matters. So let's say if you finish environmental engineering and you don't know anything about basic let's say basic water or sewage treatment plant design or something like that, then you're of no use. Your certificate is not going to finish some projects. So your skill set matters. So especially in these countries, people don't even know the difference between bachelor's and master's, and they're not even going to wink an eye about your master's, your gold medal, your honors and things like that. Just be practical. This is not India. So in India, people give preference as soon as you come from a prestigious uni, like say IITs, they'll give you a different salaries, and then you come from this uni, they give you different salaries. It doesn't work in this way here. So all they care about is your skill set. They will ask you technical questions. Let's say if you're an engineer, they'll ask you whether you can work on AutoCAD. If you can, okay, there is a job, go and sit and do it. Simple. If you don't, then what is the point of you doing a PhD, and if you're not able to do the job which I have, then you have to find another job. Simple as that. So all people care about is a skill set. So the 2 years, end of 2 years, either you finish it, you fail it, you get 50% of the marks or 100%, that really doesn't matter. Your skill set matters. So make sure that you're pretty sharp and your skill set is pretty good. So whatever you put on your resume, you're able to do it. Don't bluff, because it's not like India. You got a bloated resume, and then you can get into interviews and things like that. So that's important. And your uni rank, what happens is the better the rank, more the fees. Just like in India, any schools and universities, you go to a better uni, you pay more donation. The same way. So if it's going to be a better uni, more higher rank, you're going to pay more tuition fees. So that's one thing you got to be careful. And as I said, it's not going to make much of a difference. Anyway, any of these courses you do in any of these unis, if it is accredited by Engineers Australia, you're fine. As long as you get the knowledge, you got the skill set, and you're finishing your course, and you are fulfilling everything that has to be done, the migration, because once it's done, you're going to get a job, and after that, no one is going to look back and say, oh yeah, you did it in RMIT, you did it in Massachusetts, the people don't really care about all that. Your skill set matters. And so that's all in the research. So you plan your budget, your schedule, the location you're going to go, type of course, and check if there is a demand for the job after you finish it, and the migration plan for your course and stream, and check all those things. And so once you're 100% sure, then you finish off your research, and then you can start applying for your bank loan, and then apply for the university that you prefer, and make sure that you apply for few universities as well, because it depends on the number of seats and things like that. And trust me, they will let you in. And yeah, so that's all the main things. And in the research, let's catch up in the next lesson, guys. Next one, we're going to see a bit more into some of the other things, that how we network and things like that. All right, thanks guys, keep watching, and if you like it, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.